Hello and welcome to Around the Air Force. I'm Senior Airman Renee Carberry. The Air Force awarded a $1.28 billion contract for the initial engineering and manufacturing development phase of the new combat rescue helicopter to Sikorsky Aircraft Company. The contract also includes procurement of the first 4 of the program's planned 112 aircraft. The Air Force is the primary service tasked to organize, train, equip, and provide forces to conduct global personnel recovery operations with the specific capability to conduct theater-wide combat search and rescue. For more on this story, visit AFLink. The Air Force Art Program includes over 10,000 paintings in government buildings worldwide. This month, Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General Mark Welsh III, received 2 new paintings presented by the Chief of the Air Force Reserve, Lieutenant General James Jackson, and the artist, Air Force Reserve Major Warren Neary.
Today, it was a real honor to be here, to represent the Air Force Reserve, to have created paintings that represent operational missions that we've participated in, and to share those stories with the Chief, and to have him to be so pleased with those works, and to have those works that will now hang on the Pentagon or various places, along with a long lineage of past artists who have also told the Air Force story.
The works of art depicted real operational scenarios that took place downrange and were inspired by events General Welsh discussed at the Air Force Association conference last year. To see the full story, visit AFLink. During Exercise Red Flag Alaska, units from all over the Pacific Command come together to train and enhance joint and bilateral operations. Senior Airman Ashley Powell tells us about a crew who traveled from Okinawa to provide the eyes in the sky.
Meet the E3 Sentry, more commonly known as the AWACS, or the Airborne Warning and Control System. It provides all-weather surveillance, command, control, and communications.
So we brought the E3 aircraft here from Kadena. We're part of the 961st Airborne Air Control Squadron. The aircraft is the AWACS, and so it's primarily a C2 or a command and control platform. I guess the simplest way to explain that is like a huge command and communication center in the sky. And basically what we do is provide a good picture of what's in the air to all of our other airborne assets.
The AWACS is an important tool used during this year's second iteration of Exercise Red Flag Alaska, the joint bilateral training exercise that better enhances the working relationship between U.S. and Pacific partners.
It's important primarily because it's a good training opportunity. It gives us the opportunity to train with our other assets that we would normally work with, as well as our coalition partners that are here, in this case Japan and Australia. So we all get to practice working with each other and practice the coordination and the operations and procedures that we would normally do in a combat situation.
It's definitely a great learning experience and an exercise of what we would do in combat. And so we identify a lot of lessons learned, a lot of limitations, what goes well, what doesn't go so well, and we always develop our own procedures, standard operating procedures, and we're always improving.
Having multiple units from around the Pacific Command come together to train with their allies continues the already proven success of Exercise Red Flag Alaska. Senior Airman Ashley Powell, Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Alaska.
Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force James Cody sits down with us once a month for Chief Chat, where he discusses hot topics around the Air Force and answers questions from airmen. The next edition of Chief Chat is scheduled for the end of July. To submit questions for the next edition of Chief Chat, send us an email at aftvradio@dma.mil. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, where you can discuss all the top Air Force stories and get a behind-the-scenes look at Air Force television. You can also leave us a comment and share your own Air Force story ideas. Just go to facebook.com/Air Force TV, then click on the like button to subscribe to our feed. From the Air Force Broadcasting Service at Fort Meade, Maryland, I'm Senior Airman Renee Carberry. Thanks for watching.